attending black churches, eating soul food, and interacting with hip-hop artists. We see it every 4 years. Candidates reaching out to the black community in an effort to win over their votes.
Who let the dogs out?
Thank you, honey. Come here.
But with the resurgence of Black Lives Matter in 2020, a movement of black Americans is tired of being repeatedly courted on the campaign trail.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
And then stood up at the White House over and over.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest?
So how can voters tell the difference between pandering and genuine outrage?
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far.
Candidates have made attempts to win over the black vote since the 15th Amendment was passed after the Civil War, giving black men the right to vote.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
How do we know if they're just doing it for votes? The answer is we don't, at least not yet.
You will not know if someone is pandering until the candidate wins office, takes office, and actually follows through on some of those promises.
Dr. F. Eric Brooks is the co-author of the book African Americans and the Presidents: Politics and Policies from Washington to Trump. He says candidates first saw the impact black voters had during the 1964 election, when Lyndon B. Johnson, the Democratic Party nominee, won 94% of the black vote.
The 1964 presidential election was a turning point. From that point on, you will see Democratic Party candidates cannot win the presidency without the majority of African Americans voting. Republican candidates can win without the black vote, but Democratic candidates cannot.
Black Americans gained political power and faced less voter suppression after Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Candidates then began courting black voters more aggressively, but in some cases, the attention seemed to slow down once they took office.
Black voters are fed up because over the years they've seen too many broken promises.
Is there more jobs coming through the Bronx for us?
I am going to try as hard as I can. All I can tell you is that I'm going to try to bring that about, and not with the kind of a promise that Carter made.
Ronald Reagan promised that there would be jobs for blacks. That did not take place. We had the drug war in African American communities. Blacks were sympathetic to Clinton because of his upbringing.
Is that Bill Clinton on the same platform with Jesse Jackson? It is.
His crime bill disproportionately hurt the African American community.
Once I see candidates not following up with what they say their platform is running on, I am not surprised ever. I feel like the black community is always neglected.
Cameron Smith is 19 years old and will be voting in a presidential election for the very first time.
Specific policies are important because you're not just saying that black people matter. So whereas you can say black people are getting killed at X, Y, and Z rate, and that's bad. Everyone knows that, it's a fact. But if you don't put a policy behind it, it shows that it's just a fact that you're allowing to exist.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Let's back up.
Cameron is part of a movement of black voters pushing for the next president to adopt a black agenda, a set of policies aimed to help black Americans reach racial equality. And for the first time in U.S. history, the majority of Democratic primary candidates said they would.
The plan I have is my manifesto for Black America.
I don't see this as a black agenda. I see it as an American agenda.
We call it the Platinum Plan. Platinum Plan.
Candidates decided to adopt a black agenda because they recognized they didn't have a choice. I think the protests in the streets, I think the movement by frontline communities demanding that people began to pay attention and hear them.
So could this be the end of the cycle of broken promises to the black community?
We're at a boiling point, a breaking point, if you will. that any candidate that's elected to office now, they're going to be held to a standard of delivery.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.